in New Mexico, rows of mirrors form a checkerboard-like pattern on the desert floor. Each mirror can be tilted and rotated to catch and reflect the rays of the sun as it moves across the sky. The sunlight is then focused on a tower, where its concentrated energy is used in a variety of experiments. This is just one of many projects exploring ways to harness the sun's energy. But no human technology compares in efficiency to natural solar collectors that exist all around us. The green plants that capture the sun's energy through photosynthesis.
In 1977, researchers aboard the submersible Alvin dove more than 2,500 meters below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. Sunlight cannot penetrate to such depths. Along the ocean floor, the Alvin's own lights provided the only illumination. In this coal-black environment, the scientists made a startling discovery: chimney-like vents out of which poured a hot broth of carbon dioxide and dark sulfur. Different kinds of bizarre animals surrounded these underwater geysers. There were ghostly-looking crabs and giant tube worms waving in the deep currents. These creatures survive by feeding on microscopic bacteria. The bacteria, in turn, get their nourishment from the sulfur pouring out the vents. The transformation of chemicals like sulfur into forms that can be used by living things for food and energy is called chemosynthesis.
Chemosynthetic bacteria, and the animals that feed on them, are rare exceptions to the rule that life depends on photosynthesis and sunlight for energy. Plants depend directly on photosynthesis to manufacture their own food and to convert the energy of sunlight into chemical energy they can use. Other living things rely indirectly on photosynthesis for nourishment and energy by eating photosynthetic plants, or by eating animals that eat plants. When we eat a hamburger, we reap the nutritional benefits of the photosynthesis performed by the grasses consumed by cattle. We humans depend on photosynthesis for energy in other ways. The oil that powers our cars and planes, the gas that heats our homes, and the coal that fuels our power plants are fossil fuels. Fossil fuels were originally plant materials that many millions of years ago captured the energy of the sun.
A simple way of describing photosynthesis is that it is the process by which plants use carbon dioxide and water, along with the energy of sunlight, to create glucose, a simple sugar, and oxygen. Water is also produced. The chemical equation for photosynthesis provides a more detailed description. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, a gas in the atmosphere, and 12 molecules of water, plus the energy of sunlight, yield 1 molecule of glucose, 6 molecules of oxygen, and 6 molecules of water. Glucose and oxygen are very important products of photosynthesis. Glucose is a versatile molecule that can be combined in various ways to form different substances. Much of the glucose a plant manufactures is combined into long chains to form cellulose. Cellulose is the principal material in plant cell walls. Wood, like the trunk of this tree, is made of cellulose. By joining in other kinds of chains, glucose molecules can form different starches. Many plants store their excess starch in a form that is a source of food. Potatoes and rice, for example, are starches that are important parts of the human diet. Glucose molecules are also major components of different sugars, such as those in fruits like oranges and apples. By synthesizing glucose and then assembling glucose molecules to form cellulose, starches, and sugars, plants create the building blocks out of which they themselves are made.
The glucose produced by plants is also the fuel that powers the engines inside the cells of living things. As this student runs, the cells that make up her muscles break down glucose, releasing the energy that is stored in its chemical bonds. In order to do this, her cells need oxygen, which the runner gets from breathing. As they convert glucose to energy, her cells produce waste products, including carbon dioxide, which she exhales. This process is called aerobic respiration. During respiration, glucose plus oxygen